What up, hitters? MatrixNative here, and in today's video we're going to go ahead and talk about how World War II actually influenced American Thanksgiving. I'll be showing you like different accessories and such that come with this World War II mod. Go ahead, sound off in the comments if you got a suggestion for a build. We'll track with the 5th bat build following the briefing. Enjoy the video. Old Daisy Mo's in there. So, in November of 1944, year of our Lord, found the United States celebrating its 3rd Thanksgiving since entering World War II. And the war certainly wasn't taking a break for the holiday. No, fuck no. With Americans opening up their newspapers Thanksgiving morning to headlines like 50,000 Nazis trapped on the Rhine. But the war wasn't the only conflict brewing on Thanksgiving 75 years ago. There was also a big to-do much closer to home. The date of Thanksgiving was causing a stir in the U.S., the result of federal legislation passed in 1941 declaring that Thanksgiving be celebrated on the 4th Thursday rather than traditionally the last Thursday. So, while 1944 saw the majority of Americans celebrating Thanksgiving on the 23rd, a few states were still holding on to the custom and celebrating it on the 30th. Other beloved traditions had to change as well on that Thanksgiving. There had been no Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day parade since 1941, for example, since the company had donated the rubber in its famous balloons to the war effort. That's what she said. And Thanksgiving Day football games were played in far fewer places around the nation due to the number of men serving in the military. And me, myself, you know, every year, maybe not in the last couple of years, but in years past, especially during my active service in the military when I could, always on Thursdays of Thanksgiving, was always the Detroit Lions playing. Then, as now, Thanksgiving dinner was the main event of the day, leaving empty spaces at the holiday table in many homes, except, you know, for Jody sneaking in that motherfucker, right? In cities near military base, and if you don't know who fucking Jody is, just go ahead and Google who is Jody in the military services. You'll find out. In other homes, Thanksgiving dinner was held earlier or later than usual to accommodate family members who were working the holiday in factories and other wartime industries, you know, helping the effort. Also, point of fact, I just wanted to say thank you again to all the families out there that hosted me and my eating ass. I'm an eating machine on Thanksgiving, and I just really want to thank all the families that hosted me, you know, when I wasn't afar and at the base. You know, you could sign up and go have Thanksgiving supper, you know, with cool people, man, and just meet people. And really, that was one of the best things that I liked about the military. It was just like, you know, everyday experiences, right? And you know, that'll stick with you the rest of your lives as well. It's really awesome of these families to invite military members into their domain. Hey, check it out. So when it came to the Thanksgiving menu, the war's influence was seen yet again, this time in the form of food rationing. That's right, in 1944, Americans had been through 2 previous Thanksgivings under rationing. Sugar was still rationed that year, as well as cheese, butter, margarine, and canned fruit, creating kind of a challenge, you know, for your moms out there. And, you know, your dads, I know my dad really pitched in on Thanksgiving Day, right? Lard, shortening, and coffee were no longer rationed, for example, because we all need our goat juice, right? Still, though, Turkey Day dinner in 44 required more planning ahead than in the pre-war years. I mean, come on, Captain Obvious, that's kind of apparent. Those who had heeded the government's call to grow victory gardens, you can Google that, could cook Thanksgiving dinners with the produce that they had canned or preserved, you know, over the past year or whatever. Other Americans made sure to save up rationing stamps to purchase ingredients for their Thanksgiving meal. There's a lot of comparisons with this Thanksgiving and, say, Thanksgiving then and, say, you know, when we fucking rape the Indians, say, with Thanksgiving, really the creation of Thanksgiving. Anyway, track. Despite the challenges and changes that Thanksgiving 44 presented to Americans on the home front, people were generally willing to sacrifice for the war effort, right? Especially when they considered, like, all the battalions of fucking Rangers over there. Uppers on your feet. Let's go ahead and track down Rains on this bed. The Alright, well today we're going to be carrying the M1 carbine, and if any time you can't read, like, you know, the small print and shit, it's right here in big prints. It'll give a spray to fire, actually range of impact, and wait. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't carry something like the Thompson, because obviously that was carried throughout as well. And we'll go ahead and maybe, here's just the regular M1 carbine with the wood stock there, obviously. But we're going to carry the carbine today because we airborne rangers, and we will get into, like, you know, the Lee Enfield. I mean, we'll get into some other weapons. Here's the M1 Garand. That's actually, you know, that's the Papa Bear of them all right there. As launchers today, we're not really going to be equipping any per se, just because it really doesn't fit the build that I put together today for the 5th BAT Airborne Ranger. You cupcakes that don't know, the BAT stands for Battalion Hope, because you got the 75th Regiment, and then today you have only the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd BAT, i.e. battalion, right? But what people really don't realize was there were 6 battalions of us back in World War II. The 2nd and the 5th obviously participating in the cliff climbing on Omaha. So 2nd BAT always gets a lot of love. Today I just wanted to throw some love at the old school, old guard 5th BAT. I know that a lot of you guys aren't used to me doing like armament shit, neither am I. Yeah, today obviously we're going with the old standby, the Colt M1911, which if you follow this channel for any time is my go-to. It's my nightstand. So the Colt 1911, again, this is a mod that I have installed for World War II. Now, you do have such as the Luger, which, you know, is a pretty decent weapon back in the day. The Walter P38, you know, the old Wibbly there. That's what she said. But today we're going to go ahead and track on this M1911 uniform. Today, obviously, we're going to be going with the old U.S. Army Ranger World War II fit, right? It's pretty solid. If you look it up, it does resemble it quite well as the old 101st Airborne. They both share this type of blouse and trouser, if you will. I actually really think that's cool. I already know the build I want to use that on right there. That's pretty damn hood, even though I don't believe you're going to be jumping out of planes in combat boots. Short. Hey. So your vest, your LCE, your LBE, your web gear, whatever the heck you call it in your world, basically we're going to skip it today and come back to it. Though we are going to come back. We're not going to skip it completely, and this is why. We're going to sink into our backpack, Alisac, rucksacks, right? And today we're going to be hitting with the old US Type 5 parachute, the T5. So I've actually never used the T5. I jumped with T10s, T11s. However, you know, I never jumped in 1942 like these fucking here, right? So we're going to go ahead and equip the Type 5, the T5, as they say in the business. And I got to say, man, they did a pretty damn remarkable freaking job on this. You got your reserve here, which I think it might be a A3 or something, a reserve pack. But yeah, I think they did a really good job here, right? For the sake of immersion and simulation, we go ahead and hook up and jump out. We'll go ahead, hit the ground, and we will switch into the vest. But first, what we must do is go ahead, empty this, then we'll go ahead, track on our vest, which today we're going to be wearing the US M1 Carbine Officer's Web Gear, right? I like it because you got to make sure you equip it with the radio, because, you know, after all, you know, the radio and the binos, really, they're just as important as what we got on the back here, right? Then we got our little messenger pouch and whatnot for all the, you know, importante intel. So then we'll return back to a backpack, rucksacks, Alisacs, and we'll go ahead and equip the US Mike 1928 haversack with the bandolier. We'll have that on, and then we'll have the bandoliers right here strapped to the front. We got our radio, our binos, our entrenching tool. I mean, we are fucking good to hug. Alright, the lid, the piss pot, the brain bucket, whatever you want to call it, right? Today, we're going to go ahead and equip 5th Ranger BAT helmet with it strapped up, right? Now, again, you can get it right here with the CO. Let me tell you something, guys. So, any officer, okay, they're going to have that white line going vertically with an NCO, it's going to be horizontal, and then obviously we're part of the 5th Battalion of the 75th Regiment, right? So everyone had a unique color so that when you're charging that motherfucking pillbox, that you know who the fuck's in front of you, whether it's a NCO, you know, maybe you need to follow him to an objective or whatnot. And again, remember, these were painted. They didn't have all that reflective cat eyes that us hitters got today, right? So we'll go ahead, put the 5th lid on, and we'll make sure that we strap it up. So headwear today, really, there's not a whole lot to really go about with it. It is World War II. It's not like they had fucking Oakleys and, you know, range glasses, you know, that cost $150 and it will help you improve your fucking targets downrange, right? Okay, so what I will use this for are the gloves. I'm really tracking that. So we'll go ahead and put on the wool gloves. Why not? We'll just go ahead and throw the US Airbornes on. However, I just don't like that color right there, right? So we'll just go with the black leathers and call it a day. Then communications, obviously we have a radio. Now, back in the day, obviously they had these big honker radios, but we'll still probably use the TeamSpeak radio in the server if we ever play in the server as well. Navigation, again, your compass, you'll just hit C for it. Face, you can go ahead and pick from several faces as well. There's a couple of faces so you guys can see, right? I believe I picked Smith the last time. So we're going to go with Smith here and call it a day pretty much on that face. Obviously, you can pick whatever voice you want here. So we'll go with number 8 today. And then obviously insignia, we'll stick with the Ranger. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I know it's been a long time. We'll work on that. However, if you hadn't, go ahead, snipe that like, snipe that sub. Hope everybody has an amazing day today. I hope tomorrow's amazing. I hope yesterday was amazing. Tell all your friends about our channel, and I'll catch you next video, cause that's how we roll. Right. Oh, it's all kind of fucked up. What the fuck? This is so retarded.